guys, welcome to episode 4 of Knights of the Round Table. My name is Olivia, and today we have Mr. Davis.
Hello.
How are you doing, Mr. Davis?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
All right. So, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do here?
Well, I am the department chair for the dance department here at School of the Arts. I was a professional dancer for many years and an educator in the Atlanta area. Actually, not just Atlanta, but I've been here in the Atlanta area for almost 20 years teaching and choreographing. So,
And how long have you been doing that for?
over 20 years, about 25 years.
All right. So, over the 20 years that you've been doing it, what's like your least favorite experience?
Least favorite experience? That's a good question. Least favorite? I don't know if there is a least favorite that I have.
Well, do you have a favorite?
I do. I have lots of favorites. One of my most favorite teaching experiences, just in general, is that your question? Most recently, I was invited to England to teach at the English National Ballet School. It's one of the premier schools and companies in the world.
Wow.
So I was over there during our fall break teaching Horton technique, which is one of the modern dance techniques that I teach here. So that was really exciting to see and expose these students who are all just classical ballet dancers to modern dance technique. And I was really excited to develop this educational partnership with them. So I'll be going back during our midwinter break in February, and then I'll also be back there again for the summer for a few weeks teaching for the summer intensive. And I was able to work on developing 2 scholarship opportunities for our conservatory dancers to go and train over in London. So I'm really excited about the possibilities of that.
Wow. How did you get that opportunity?
I was asked to teach at Regional Dance America's National Conference back in Daytona in April of this year. And they recently appointed Miss Lynn Charles, who is a legendary prima ballerina. She was recently appointed artistic director of the school. And so she came and observed my classes actually down at the Regional Dance America Conference. And she said, we want to see if you're available to come to London. So,
Wow. Well, who would you say outside of dance you look up to?
who do I look up to? Maybe my parents. My parents have been married for 53 years. You know, they raised 7 children. I'm 5 boys, 2 girls. I'm the eldest son. So my parents are people who I really look up to, who have persevered, you know. Raising 7 children, raising any child is not an easy task, but 7 and 5 boys especially is...
Very challenging.
You know, so my parents, they really motivated and inspired me. My mom was an educator also, so yeah, my parents.
And what would you say is your most memorable dancing moment for you?
Memorable dance, I have a lot. I've been fortunate to have worked with many different choreographers who are considered, you know, dance icons, and whether they were choreographers or dancers. But one in particular, I was dancing, maybe 25, 26 years old, dancing with a company in Kansas City. The company is Williams Henry Contemporary Dance Company, and that season I was selected to dance a famous pas de deux, or duet. It's actually choreographed by Lester Horton, which is the technique that I teach. I'm a 3rd-generation Horton teacher, and I remember being 18 years old, training with a company in Ohio, and I saw some senior members of the company learning that ballet with James Truitt and Carmen de Lavalla, who were original Alvin Ailey dancers. They were original Lester Horton dancers, and that was my introduction to the Horton technique. But to be selected to dance that duet was like a huge highlight for me, because I teach the technique and I studied the technique, and then finally they put the technique to performance, into stage, especially with an iconic classical duet called The Beloved that was originally choreographed in, I believe, 1939, I believe. So that was very special for me. And actually, maybe about 6 or 7 years ago, the director at Agnes Scott College, which is a local school here in Decatur, she was restaging the ballet from Lama notation, which is like dance notation, and for her solo concert. And she knew that I had danced it years ago when I was much younger. She actually asked me to come out of retirement to perform it with her. So I got a chance to perform it with her and tour it regionally. We toured it through Tennessee and had a couple performances here in the Georgia area. So that's a very special ballet for me that I hold very dear.
And when was your last time, like, having a performance like you? And what was it
Well, I
like?
perform, believe it or not, I'm getting ready to go into rehearsal this weekend. I work with the Atlanta Dance Theater. I performed the Nutcracker with them. So I'm actually
Wow.
Uncle Drosselmeyer in that ballet. So I've been performing that every holiday season for probably the last 10 years. So I still
Wow.
get up there a little bit and do a little something for this old man, move these old bones still. So yeah, I'll actually be going into rehearsal this weekend for that.
Oh, that sounds nice. And speaking of dance, Mr. Davis, would you like to show me and Ethan some dance moves?
Are you and Ethan ready for that?
As ready as we'll ever be.
Sure. I can teach you a little something from the Horton technique.
Okay.
All right. So you would need to stand up, obviously. It's real simple. It's not going to be too much, not too physical. You're going to stand with your feet hips width apart, nice and tall. You have to activate that core. Ethan, your hips aren't that wide.
You have to get in the...
Hips width apart. Hips width apart.
Get the GoPro.
Feet are hips width apart. Yeah. Make sure your legs stay parallel, so your toes are facing forward. Olivia, feet hips width apart, toes facing forward. True parallel position. Exactly. Arms down by your side. Stand nice and tall, shoulders back, neck is long. Pull that rib cage in. Drop your chin. Drop your chin a little bit. There you go. You're just going to take a simple flat back. You're going to make a 90-degree angle. I'll demonstrate it for you once. You have 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maintaining the line from the top of your head to your hips. One line. But keep breathing, Ethan. You're holding your breath. Don't hold your breath. 4 counts over. And go. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And up. 1. Keep your back as flat as you can. Rib cage in. Again. And over. 1, 2, 3. Breathe. You're holding your breath. Up. 1, 2, 3. Again. And over. 1, 2. Energy in those arms, Ethan. Stretch those fingers. And up. 1, 2, 3. You gotta stay on the count. So you said you came up a little bit early. Now look at my arms. My arms stay right by my side. And so the line of it's called a flat back. So you're trying to literally make a flat back. So that's going to depend on how flexible your lower back and your glutes are. Will determine how far you can get. You need to get into a 90-degree angle. 90-degree angle. So over 1, 2, 3, 4. Up 1, 2, 3, 4. That's number 1 of 4 sets. Yeah. Try it again. You're going to feel the stretch through your hamstrings and through your backs of your calves. Make sure your legs stay parallel. Keep your toes forward. There you go. Taller, Ethan. Go taller. And keep that line the entire time. And go. 1. Breathe. 2. Don't hold your breath. And up. Better, Ethan. Good, Olivia. 2, 3. One more time. Keep breathing. Stay on the counts. 2, 3, 4. And up. 1, 2. Very good. Good job. That's the intro to the Horton warm-up.
Oh, that hurt my leg. Yeah, I feel it still.
Because you're stretching. You're trying to stretch those muscles at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Lord.
Yeah. Good job.
Thank you. Well, that was hurtful and interesting.
Hurtful. That was literally just 4 counts.
And I don't stretch like that. My season is over.
Yeah, we play baseball and softball.
Yeah.
Say again, Ethan.
We play baseball and softball. We don't
Yeah,
That
we don't
means-
stretch like that.
Well, any athlete should be stretching. There are athletes who take ballet class, professional athletes, football players, basketball players, baseball players who take,
NFL players take ballet.
yeah,
And I was like, what?
for flexibility, for
Oh,
agility.
yeah. Just
Yeah.
like that. That's beautiful. Keep that there. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of that, what is your favorite style of dance?
Obviously, the Horton technique, so modern dance technique is one of my favorites. I like ballet, obviously, but modern probably is one of my favorites.
Okay. If you can dance with any famous dancer, who would it be and why?
Well, that's a good question. We just, yesterday, or actually Saturday, we just lost a legendary dancer, choreographer, director, Miss Judith Jamison. She was Mr. Ailey's muse. She was the former artistic director of the company. She just passed away. She was such an icon. I met her several different times, but she was so impactful, and just her presence and her legacy that she left is going to be felt for a very long time. And she really continued Mr. Ailey's legacy. So if I could have had the chance to just share the stage with Miss Judith Jamison, that would have been a dream come true. So R.I.P. Miss Jamison.
Yes, R.I.P. Who would you say dancer-wise you look up to?
There's not one, I don't think. There's so many dancers who I've seen and I've been fortunate enough to have worked with or have watched their trajectory in their careers. Desmond Richardson is probably one. Mr. Ailey, Mr. Truitt, James Truitt. So many dancers and choreographers and educators that I've looked up to and influenced by over my years.
Yeah, there's so many good ones. I seen one. I was on Instagram the other day and I was looking at reels and I seen like this one ballet dancer and I was like, wow, like how do you even do that? And I know that you guys do that every day at school. And I think she was on point. When I was in my room, I went on point for 2 seconds and I almost started crying. Like, I don't know how you guys do that for a whole class.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. I mean, you just did one flat back, so imagine doing a full class like that every day. But think about the strength that you build and the flexibility and the endurance and stamina that you build in your bodies.
Yeah. I think music tech is more my thing. You guys are the best at it. I'll leave it to you guys.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
What would you say is the best quality to be a dancer?
There are many, but one of the qualities that I look for, in like specifically with the student who's wanting to be in our conservatory, is passion. And I think that's something that any good artist should possess, a quality of being passionate and being driven. As you just saw, it's difficult. It's physically difficult. You know, dance is what I call a show me sport. So you got to come with some drive and some passion to be able to endure physically, mentally, and emotionally. So having that drive definitely helps. You know, and be coachable. Definitely be coachable and be trainable. And obviously a good person too. You know.
Oh, absolutely.
We're trying to inspire audiences with our art, you know, and to be able to do that on stage requires more than just the physical, technical proficiency. You know, there has to be a real human quality that the audience connects to because they don't know anything about Horton or flatback or plie tendu, but they know the human connection. So being able to have that as an artist is essential.
Yeah, I see that. What inspires you to keep doing what you're doing?
Getting up every day, my students inspire me. You know, seeing students that come in with that passion that I just spoke about and that drive and that hunger to learn and to be better than they were before, that's what inspires me. I get my inspiration, whether I'm choreographing or teaching, is from the bodies in the room and the exchange of energy in the room with different dancers. So that's what inspires me the most.
All right. Well, that's all the questions I have for you, Mr. Davis. Thank you for coming on here.
Absolutely.
Also, do you guys have a dance show coming up that you want to? We
do. We have our end of the season concert. Our concert is December 12th and 13th here at School of the Arts at 7 p.m. So we hope to see everybody there. Yeah. And I just want to encourage everybody too. I told this to my students recently, you know, the dream is free, but the hustle is so separately.
Yes. I'm so glad you put that in there. Yeah. But that's all we have for you guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for showing up, Mr. Davis.
Absolutely.
Thank you for everyone who helped.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Bye.